Russell Westbrook, Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, and Tracy McGrady all don't have NBA championships. But I'm here to change that. We're going to start it off by rebuilding Russell Westbrook's 2017-18 Thunder to win him a ring. The first trade I'm going to do is for DeAndre Jordan and Harrison Barnes. It's not a huge overall upgrade, but I've got more moves planned. The next move I'm going to make is to go out and get Rudy Gay and Zach Randolph. I'm only trading away one 84 overall player and getting an 85 and an 83. Seems like a smart move to me. Next up, we're going to trade Zach Randolph to go get Jeff Teague and Derrick Rose. Two good point guards. I can slide one of them over to the 2, and then we'll have some additional depth at the guard spot. Next, I'm going to trade Corey Brewer to go get Patrick Beverley. Beverly's going to help out the defense of this team. I know Russ and Pat Bev didn't exactly get along early in their careers, but they figured it out with the Lakers, so they'll figure it out here. Now I'm going to trade Tyrone Wallace to go get JaMychal Green, give us some additional depth at the power forward position. This is what the roster is looking like now. I think it looks really good. We have a solid amount of depth. We've got our 2 stars with Russ and PG. I think we should be good to go. At the end of year number 1, Dion Waiters was 6th man of the year. He was hooping in Miami. Rudy Gobert takes home a DPOY. D'Lo most improved. Brett Brown is the coach of the year. The Sixers are usually a pretty big threat when you go back and do these simulations around like 2017, 2018, 2019. Those years, the Sixers are usually pretty tough in the sim. But we were really good. We won 64 games. We ended off the season on a 12-game win streak. We were clicking on all cylinders towards the end of the year. So hopefully that will translate to a championship for this team. Everybody played well. Russell Westbrook was good. Paul George was getting buckets. The Russ and PG duo was low-key underrated because they kind of complemented each other's games pretty well. I guess they're reunited now, though, with the Clippers. Round number 1, we've got the Denver Nuggets, and we're going to go ahead and sweep them. Oh my goodness, bro, that voice crack was crazy. Most YouTubers would cut that out, but I'm a little bit too lazy to, so you should subscribe for more. We've got the New Orleans Pelicans in the second round. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-0 lead, 3-0 lead. Oh man, they're cooked. We're going to get them out of there in 5 games. Now we have the Utah Jazz in the conference finals. The young Jazz making a run to potentially get a ring, but unfortunately that's gonna have to stop here because we're gonna beat them, man. We're up 3-1 in the series. We get them out of there in 5. Russell Westbrook is your conference MVP, and we have to face Bron and the Cavs in the NBA Finals. This is definitely going to be a tough matchup, but hopefully we can get the job done. We're gonna take game number 1 and 2. They're going to take game 3. You know Bron's not going to go out that easy. They're going to take another one. And oh my goodness, we're not going to blow a 3-1, are we? We're not going to pull the Warriors, or really a Thunder. The Thunder did blow a 3-1 in the conference finals. The same year the Warriors blew a 3-1 in the NBA finals. But hopefully we can get it done in this game 7. I don't want to be on the wrong side of history blowing a 3-1 lead. We're playing pretty well. We're up. We're up by quite a lot. It looks like we got it. We are NBA champions. We win it by 15 points. Russell Westbrook gets a signature triple-double. Paul George shoots 8 for 23. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of shots. DeAndre Jordan gives us 26. Bron, of course, went out swinging, but it's not going to be enough. We go ahead and get the championship. Russ averaged almost 15 assists per game. Next up, we got the Philadelphia 76ers. Allen Iverson. We're going to try to win him a ring. One of the big issues for AI throughout his career was the supporting cast just wasn't that good. But I'm here to change that today. We're going to start off by trading for Allen Houston. An 84 overall 2-guard should give us some solid scoring on this roster and provide a decent second option next to AI. But I'm not opposed to trading him if we can get some better players on the team. And I saw a trade that would allow me to do that with Sharif Abdur-Rahim and Theo Ratliff, which will solidify our front court. So I had to do that one. We've used up a lot of picks so far, so now I've got to do some smaller moves to try and get some of this draft capital back. Usually in 2K you can cheese it so you can get some more picks, and that's what I did. I also went into free agency, signed Earl Jenkins to a 3-year deal. We could get some of these G League guys that'll give us some depth. That's a little trick if you're trying to do these rebuilds. Sometimes those guys will be sitting in free agency and you can go ahead and sign them. I don't think that the other teams really ever sign them, so you should be able to get them. I'm going to go ahead and get another first round pick. We were able to add 2 firsts through those trades. I'm going to use one of those picks to go out, get us a solid 2 guard. Nobody crazy. Calbert Cheney, he's a 75 overall. I'll go ahead and do that one. I'm also going to go sign Rodney Randall to a minimum contract. He only wants a 1-year deal, so I will do that. And yeah, that's pretty much the team. We didn't do too much, but Allen Iverson, he's a beast in these simulations, so hopefully he'll be able to lead the way for this squad as we try to get an NBA championship. We won over 60 games this season, which is better than I expected. I know our team was solid, but I guess Allen Iverson to just really like that because I didn't expect this team to be that good. There's AI, All-NBA second team, All-Defensive second team as well. We were the number 1 seed in the East by far. We had a nice little lead on the second team in the East, which was the Toronto Raptors. And Sharif Abdur-Rahim proved to be a huge pickup. Keith Van Horn was giving us a lot of scoring. The Earl Jenkins pickup was also pretty big. Eric Snow really struggled. It looks like I should have traded him, but too late now. We got to go ahead and get the job done. We're going to go ahead and beat the Bucks in a gentleman's sweep in round 1. We're going to beat the Nets in 6 in round number 2. And now we got the Toronto Raptors in the conference finals, the only team standing between us and an NBA Finals appearance. We're up 3-0 in the series, and we're going to get out of there in a sweep. Now we have the Phoenix Suns, the final team we need to beat, and they're really not that good. So hopefully we'll be able to get the job done. They're only a 5 seed. We're up 2-1 on Phoenix, 3-1, and we're going to get the NBA championship. Allen Iverson is your finals MVP. All right. Now we're moving on to the New York Knicks. This is the 2011-12 New York Knicks team with Melo. This is when Jeremy Lin went on his Linsanity run. We got Amari Stoudemire, Tyson Chandler, a solid squad, and I think with a couple moves, they could get significantly better. The first move is going to be trading away Tyson Chandler. I want to go get a couple players who can contribute. I see Nikola Pekovic and Michael Beasley, so I'm definitely going to do this trade. Beasley could be a good young player for us and end up developing pretty well. And even though we just added Nikola Pekovic in that move, he's on an expiring deal. I saw DeAndre Jordan, who's on a 4-year contract. I'm going to go ahead and trade for him. I'm also going to trade J.R. Smith because I can get Ben Gordon and Ben Wallace, 2 players above 80 overall. I did have to trade some picks, but I don't really care about the picks. And I can trade Ben Wallace to get JR back, but I'm looking at some of the other trade offers. I saw Tyson Chandler. I also saw Nick Batum, who's only 22 in this, but I went ahead and made the move to get Tyson Chandler back. I was also looking at trades for Ben Gordon, who I got in that same move for Ben Wallace. I saw Goran Dragic. He can run some point guard for us, 83 overall. We've already got Jeremy Lin to start. That's going to solidify our point guard position. Then I'm looking at trades involving a couple guys who are towards the end of our rotation in Hasheem Thabeet and Jared Jeffries. I saw Andrew Bogut. He's a 79 overall. Thought that was a solid move, but I'm always looking to improve. So even though we just got Bogut, I saw Lou Will in the trade finder, 80 overall, who can give us some bench scoring. We've already got DeAndre Jordan and Tyson Chandler as our centers, so I'll go ahead and make that move for Lou Will. Mike Bibby's older. He's 33, only a 72 overall. I didn't really want him on the roster, so I saw a trade for Marcus Camby, who's a 76. I went ahead and I added him, but Marcus Camby is also 37, so I went ahead and traded him to go get Marvin Williams, who for some reason has Terry Rozier's picture. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, he's got Terry Rozier's picture. This is what the roster is looking like, though. I think we put together a pretty good 10-man rotation for this season, but I guess we'll have to see how they end up doing in simulation. And in the simulation, this team, I think, exceeded expectations. 70 wins on the year, a historical season by the team. Great stuff from them. I didn't expect this team to win 70 games, but we did, and Tom Thibodeau is the coach of the year as a result. Unfortunately, though, we didn't end up having any All-NBA players, which doesn't make any sense. We won 70 games, can't get one All-NBA player. I mean, I guess, man. Ben Wallace ended up making all defense. Maybe I should have kept him, but he doesn't score too much, and he's also older, so I'm not too mad about trading him. We were able to get, I think we ended up getting, we got Tyson Chandler back. This is what the stats were looking like for this season. Goran Dragic was really good off the bench. Jeremy Lin was giving us almost 10 assists per game. That is crazy. DeAndre Jordan, he didn't score a ton, but he's rebounding, blocking shots, and he's efficient. So let's see how these playoffs go. Round number 1, we got the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers, they've got a decent team, but there is no reason we should be losing to them. Their best player is a young Paul George. It's a 3-2 series, though. Okay, we get out of there in 6. I was about to say, there is no way we should be losing to that Indiana team. Round number 2, we have the Orlando Magic with Dwight Howard as their star player. Game number 1 is going to go to us. We're also going to take game 2. We're up 3-0, a commanding lead, and we're going to go ahead and sweep. Now we've got our biggest test yet. The Miami Heat, the Big Three Heat. LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. We take game number 1. They take game 2. We take game 3. We're up 3-1 on the Big Three Heat, but they're going to come storming back. And now we've got a game 7. Please don't blow the 3-1. We haven't blown any 3-1s in this video. Eddie Curry gave us 31. Oh my goodness, we got to lock in. Game 7 coming up against Miami. I'm nervous, man. Shiver me timbers, bro. I'm scared of this one. We got to go ahead and beat this Heat team. We can't afford to lose. I put together a 70-win team. The least y'all could do is clutch up for me and not blow a 3-1 lead, and we're getting cooked. We're getting absolutely cooked. LeBron James probably hitting the silencer and stuff as he just cooks us, man. And in game 7, it doesn't look like anybody did too bad, but D-Wade with 32, and we get dropped off. Dwayne Wade is the conference MVP. The Heat go on to win the chip. Bron wins the finals MVP. Time to make some offseason moves. My main goal for this offseason is going to be to clear up some cap space. I want to go after some big free agents, and I see some trades where I can get 2 firsts for Marvin Williams, and he was taking up a lot of our money, so I'll go ahead and do that. Also, I'm looking to get cheaper at the point guard spot, but in the process, I was able to find Mike Conley, who was making the same amount of money as Jeremy Lin and was a higher overall, so I felt like that was kind of a no-brainer type move. I went ahead and I did that, and we should have a significant amount of cap space open for the offseason. We've got enough to offer Kevin Durant a max deal in free agency. Or almost a max, and yeah, he's not even interested, so that's tough, man. But I will go ahead and use our money to bring back Michael Beasley instead. Hopefully he can develop pretty well for us. I'm also going to bring back Goran Dragic on a new deal. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a big player, but you know what? It's important to bring back some of our guys. We did win 70 games last year, so maybe we don't need to make any crazy moves. It looks like we don't have enough money to bring back Michael Beasley, though. So, sorry, Goran Dragic. We're going to look to get cheaper at the PG. I see Jeff Teague. He's on a team-friendly deal. We also get a pick. I'll go ahead and trade Dragic in that move. And now we should be able to afford to bring back Michael Beasley. I don't want to renounce the rights. I don't know why 2K always tries to do that. They always try to mess you up and renounce the rights to your free agents. But we were able to bring back Michael Beasley. And after this, I was looking to make some moves involving Amari Stoudemire. He's been good for us. He's an 88 overall, but I'm always looking to improve the squad. I mean, last year, we ended up blowing a 3-1, so I definitely think there's room for some changes. I can get Blake Griffin and Eric Bledsoe in this move. Griffin's significantly younger than Amari, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I was also looking at trades for Tiago Splitter. We had too many centers on the roster. I can get 2 firsts for Tiago. Sure, don't mind if I do. And then I was looking at some Eric Bledsoe moves. I was getting offered some more picks, but I was trying to find somebody who could contribute for us at the 2-guard spot because Bledsoe went down in overall at the 2. I saw Lou Will, went ahead and made the move for Lou Williams. Now, this is what the roster is looking like. I think the Blake Griffin pickup was pretty big. Michael Beasley progressed significantly in the offseason. Overall, I think the squad is solid. We can only run a 9-man this year because our 10th man just isn't very good. Only a 68 overall, but I mean, we were cooking again. 41-10 around the trade deadline. But like I said, I'm always looking to improve. So if we can do anything to help out this squad, I will most definitely do that. I'm looking at some Lou Williams trades. We acquired some picks in some previous moves, so I can afford to trade some of those. We're not really too worried about draft capital. I'm going to go get Jamal Crawford and Danny Granger. Granger's a 77 and can help out our rotation. But we could also look to improve in a trade involving Danny Granger. I saw a trade for Meta World Peace, but he doesn't really score too much. I did see Chauncey Billups, though. He's an 81 overall, so if I trade him in another move, we should be able to get somebody pretty solid. And Trevor Ariza, good young player. I'll go ahead and make that trade. We get a solid wing who's young, and now we have a 10-man rotation, so we got a little bit more depth. That should help with some of our guys who are tired in the rotation right now. And overall, I think we were able to make some solid improvements around the trade deadline this season. At the end of the year, Derrick Rose was named the MVP of the league. Injuries are off, and Derrick Rose is dominating. Anthony Davis enters the league, wins Rookie of the Year with the Golden State Warriors. Dwight Howard is the DPOY, Jimmy Butler Most Improved, and Tom Thibodeau takes home another Coach of the Year as we go 66-16. I believe after the deadline, we only ended up losing 6 more games. We went on a really strong run to close out the season, which once again was good enough for us to earn the number 1 seed. But the seeding isn't too important. What we need to see is that playoff success. Blake Griffin proved to be a huge pickup. He led the team in scoring this year. Prime Blake Griffin playing in the Garden would have been crazy. Could you imagine the energy after he threw down those dunks? Anyway, round number 1, we're going to beat one of Blake Griffin's former teams, the Pistons. Then we're going to go ahead and beat the Pacers in 6 games. Now we got to take down D Rose. He's coming off of an MVP season. They were pretty close to us in the standings as well. So this definitely will be no walk in the park. It's a 2-1 series, 2-2. Come on, guys, lock in. We're down 3-2. And we go ahead and we lose 4-2. KD ends up making the finals. He's on the Lakers now. And Derrick Rose goes ahead, takes him down, and wins a finals MVP. Anyway, this offseason, I was mainly just looking at bringing back my guys. I think our team was still pretty good, so I think bringing back the guys should definitely be a priority. So I re-signed Tyson Chandler, Steve Novak, and Jamal Crawford to new deals. But after signing Jay Crossover to a new contract, he's already 33 years old. So if I can make a trade where we get somebody a little bit younger, I'll definitely do that. Tyreek Evans is exactly the type of guy who I'm looking for. So I did that trade. And then I looked at Tyson Chandler moves because Chandler, he's 30, and I saw Eddie Curry, who's getting so many buckets for the Pacers, scoring a lot more than Tyson Chandler is for us. So, I mean, this one also seemed like a pretty good move. And then I was ready to cheese a little bit in free agency. I went ahead and I signed Rashard Lewis to a 4-year contract. I had no intentions of keeping him on the roster, though. After signing him, went straight to the trade finder, threw in a 2nd-round pick, seeing if we could improve. Greg Oden is here, 82 overall, man. But also Steve Novak. He can come back. We get a 1st-round pick. Boom. And now the team, oh my goodness, the team is absolutely beautiful. Magnificent even. It's looking wonderful. So I'm ready to go get this NBA championship. Y'all better not choke in the playoffs 3 years in a row, because this has been very disappointing so far. Kyrie, oh my goodness, bro averaged almost 40 points per game. That is crazy. Greg Monroe, 6th man of the year with the Pistons. They also got Derek Favors. I remember there was a time in Detroit where they had so many big men. They had these weird lineups going on. The Josh Smith, Andre Drummond duo. Anyway, we were the 2nd seed this year, 59 wins on the season. We were tied with Chicago for the number 1 seed. Don't know how much the regular season matters, though, because we just continue to choke in the playoffs. Eddie Curry was a really good pickup for us, though, looking at the stats. He was getting buckets. Steve Novak, welcome back. He got a few buckets for us as well. Round number 1, we got the Orlando Magic. That's going to be a gentleman's sweep. Round 2, we got the Indiana Pacers. This is going to be a little bit of a tougher series, we've got a game 7, man. Come on, y'all. Y'all better not lose to the Pacers. I remember when they were the 8th seed and we took them out in the first season. But it does look like, okay, I thought we had them there, but we might not have them. It's pretty close here. So let's go ahead and hop into this game 7. 3-point game. We're up. We're going to get the ball in the post to Eddie Curry. Post spin. Eddie missed that layup, bro. No way he missed the layup. And now the Pacers got a chance at it. How did he miss that layup? Okay, y'all better lock in defensively. We'll be okay. Paul George has the ball. Paul gets the screen. PG. He was wearing number 24 at this time. Paul George. Okay, great defense. He gets through the awkward little floater. He misses that one. Okay, we should be good. Eddie Curry, you can redeem yourself. He ends up making the first and missing the second. Eddie Curry, this is a historical choke. All right, we're still up by 4, though, so as long as we get a stop, we should be good to go. We should be in business. And the Indiana Pacers looking to keep their season alive with a little over 22 seconds on the clock. Tyson Chandler inbounding the ball, and we're gonna get the steal. We get the steal. What a steal by Mike Conley, and he's gonna lay it up. This game is over. Get out of here. We're going on to the conference finals. What a play. That was so clutch. Eddie Curry, he was getting buckets throughout this game, despite the fact that he did struggle in the clutch. DeAndre Jordan, 0 points, only 1 shot taken, 12 rebounds. Paul George, he ends up dropping 39 in this one. And now we just have to get past the Toronto Raptors to make it to the NBA Finals. They've got DeMar DeRozan and Andrea Bargnani, 290 overalls. We're up 2-0 in the series, though. Great start. We're up 3-0, and we're going to make it to the finals in a sweep. But we've got to face KD and the Lakers still have Kobe. They've got Pal Bynum, and Mario Chalmers is running the point guard. Something about Mario Chalmers and being on these really good teams. He was on the Big 3 Heat in real life. Anyway, we're going to take game 1. They take game 2. We take game 3. They're going to take game 4. So a back and forth series here as we hop into the Simcast for game number 5. And unfortunately, it seems like we just have a history of folding in the playoffs, as we're going to go ahead and drop this game 5. Why wouldn't we? We're always blowing these big games. And I mean, we had some good performances from our guys. Kobe even shot 7 for 21, but the Lakers, they just have a lot of great players. Luckily, we're at least going to force a game 7, keep things interesting. Eddie Curry's been getting buckets all playoffs. Oh my goodness, efficiently too. So yeah, we got this game 7, and I think we need to change the rotation. I'm going to start Eddie Curry for this one because he's been hooping. And then I think I'm going to move a few more things around. Steve Novak, he's been kind of struggling from the field, so I'll go ahead and take away his minutes. This is our final game of the season. We'll give Blake a bunch more minutes. We'll definitely give Melo and Malik Beasley some more as well. Malik Beasley's been really good for us. Trevor Ariza, oh my goodness, the stats are terrible. So we're going to go ahead and take away all of his minutes, give Malik Beasley some more, give Mike Conley a few more, and throw Eddie Curry a few more for this game 7. We better go ahead and get the dub. And in this game 7, it was back and forth early on. We were hanging around with the Lakers, but in the fourth quarter, the Lakers started pulling away in those final minutes, and we lost, man. Oh my goodness. And after losing in this game 7, I tried everything to make this team better season after season. If I put in all the footage, this video would easily be well over an hour. So ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to show some of the seasons where we ended up losing year after year. And then we'll go ahead and get to the final season where we finally won that NBA championship. Because it was boring. I mean, look at this season. We ended up going to a game 7 with the Golden State Warriors in the finals. I was simulating, and we lost. Of course we did. We lost by 14 points. It felt like 2K was literally just against us year after year. I made some small changes every single offseason to try and make the team better, but we just couldn't get better. And then we made the finals the next year. It was a 2-2 series. The Grizzlies end up taking the next 2 games, and Dwight Howard wins the finals MVP with the Memphis Grizzlies. After the Grizzlies loss, we were able to make some more offseason changes, and this is when things actually got better. I went out, I got Devin Booker. I also got Joel Embiid through a few trades. We still have some of our key players like Melo and Michael Beasley, but I had changed a ton of stuff around by this point. Anthony Davis was dominating in the league. De'Aaron Fox had just entered the league. We had simulated a lot of seasons by this time. And this was the season where we were able to make our breakthrough. 59 wins on the year. This wasn't nearly the most impressive regular season that we've put together. We had a 70-win season in the first year. But finally, we were able to make it to the NBA Finals and have some success. The Orlando Magic, we went to a Game 7 with them, but we ended up beating them by 25 points. Then we had to face the Suns, who had KD and Blake Griffin, one of our former players. We're going to take Game 1 against them and Game 2, and they're going to take a game. We're going to take Game 4, and we're finally going to win the chip. I didn't want to show y'all all the trades I made because there were so many, but trust me, I didn't cheat, because if I cheated, it wouldn't have taken me 6 years to win an NBA championship, or like 7. This was just, oh my goodness, it was so stressful. Just a terrible rebuild. But finally, we get to move on to a new team. We're here in the 2002-2003 season. This is the same season that I rebuilt the Philadelphia 76ers in, and we're trying to win T-Mac and the Orlando Magic an NBA championship. T-Mac didn't have the greatest supporting cast around this time, so we're here to change that. I want to get him some good players, and the first player I'm going to get is Jason Williams. We also get Wesley Person. That move should help us out with our depth, but I also want to get another star. And who better than Starberry? Stephon Marbury, 86 overall point guard. Him and T-Mac in the backcourt should be absolutely great. And then I'm looking at Jason Williams trades. He's an 82 overall point guard, and we just went out and got Stephon Marbury, so we don't exactly need a PG. I saw Marcus Camby, good defensive center. He's pretty young, so I'll go ahead and make that trade. Then I'm looking at trading some of the guys who are some of the worst players on the team to try and get some draft capital. We need some more picks if we want to improve this team. If we can have good depth, we will be a huge threat in the Western Conference, considering the fact that around this time, there wasn't as much talent in the league. There weren't as many high overall players. So if we can get some decent bench players, we could really be cooking. And I saw Brent Barry, 80 overall. He's on a 4-year deal. I'll go ahead and make that trade. Then I'm looking at packaging together two of the guys who'd probably be more towards the end of my rotation to see if I could get anybody who could help out. And I saw Adonal Foyle, 76 overall center. I went ahead and I made a trade for him. Then I was looking at trades for Adonal Foyle and 2 firsts. I could get 2 rotational players here with Hedo Turkoglu and Scott Pollard. So I went ahead and did that. Hedo's still pretty young as well. So far, I've been able to go out, add some good rotational players. We got another star alongside T-Mac in Stephon Marbury. And I was also able to go out and get Gerald Wallace, who's still young as well and can develop with this team. I wanted to try and sign some players in free agency, but we didn't really have the money to go out and do that. So the team is pretty much set. This is the team we're running with. Hopefully, this will be good enough for us to win an NBA championship. I like how the team turned out. We're going to run a 9-man rotation this season. By the end of the year, Kobe Bryant was named the MVP. Yao Ming was Rookie of the Year. Bobby Jackson, 6th Man of the Year. Ben Wallace, DPOY. Ricky Davis, Most Improved. And Doc Rivers, who is our coach, ends up being the Coach of the Year. Tracy McGrady was named to the All-NBA second team. No All-NBA for Stephon Marbury, but T-Mac did end up making All-Defense as well. We're 61-21, number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and checking out the stats for the season, Tracy McGrady, he played very well, over 30 points per game on the season. Good stuff from T-Mac. Marbury was really good, over 22 a game, and then the rest of the guys kind of just filled in the gaps. We had some good role players on the squad, so overall, I think we did pretty well. Round number 1, we got the Chicago Bulls, the 8th seed. We're going to go ahead and sweep them. Now we've got the Indiana Pacers, and we're actually going to go to 7 with Indiana. We beat them by 10 in the Game 7. I didn't expect that series to go 7, though. Ultimately, we got out of there. Now we got the Sixers. So maybe it was a Mickey Mouse run when I went ahead and rebuilt the Sixers to win a championship, because it looks like they're doing just fine on their own without me rebuilding their team. So maybe that was a fraudulent rebuild. Maybe they didn't need rebuilding because they're cooking us. They're up 3-2, and they're going to beat us in 6. AI and the Sixers go on to win the championship. So that's kind of funny. But now it's the offseason, and it's time to make some changes. And I had a blueprint laid out for this offseason to go get Bron. That's right, I want Bron alongside T-Mac. So I went out, I made a trade to go get Tony Kukoc in a first. That pick was 8th in the draft, and that could help us with this trade. I'm going to trade Stephon Marbury in this move, which I know is crazy, but if I trade him in the 8th pick, they still won't do it. I'm going to trade another first. They still won't do it. Added in more draft capital, and they finally go ahead and take the trade. So now that we've secured the number 1 pick, I want to clear up some salary. And the reason why, I want to go after a big free agent. So if we can have Bron, T-Mac, and then a big free agent, I feel like we'd be pretty good. Even if we didn't win the chip this upcoming year, we could definitely do it in the near future. So I was trading away as many players as I could to try and clear up as much cap space as possible for this year's free agency to put a great team alongside LeBron James and Tracy McGrady. There are some pretty good free agents that we can go after, so I'm just trying to make my team cheaper. Like, I'm going to go trade Wesley Person to get Jamal Crawford, who's only 23 and on a much cheaper contract than Wesley Person. That'll help me clear up some money. Then I'm just trading some of these guys like Eddie Robinson, who I can get a first-round pick for and also clear up some salary. And that left a lot of money open for us to go after some players. And I'm really excited for what we can do this offseason. The team's pretty much completely cleared up outside of a few guys. We've got the number 1 pick, and of course, I'm going to select LeBron James. And now it's time for the big free agency that I've been talking about a lot. I've been trying to clear up the cap space for. Here we go. I'm going to offer Tim Duncan. I would love to have Duncan on the team, but I didn't expect it to work out. He's going to go back to San Antonio, but that's okay. I'm also going to offer Jason Kidd, but even if we don't land him, I'm not going to be too upset. It looks like he's not going to come here either. So I'm going to go to some of my other options, like Gilbert Arenas. Let me tell y'all, man, Gilbert is crazy in the sim. I was able to get him. I also offered Sean Marion, but we ended up not being able to afford to sign Marion, which is okay because I'm going to try to clear up some more room to try and sign him. And I was able to do exactly that by going out and getting Bobby Jackson and Adonal Foyle, who was once on our team. But I'm going to trade Adonal Foyle to clear up some room in cap so that we can go out and sign the Matrix, Sean Marion. If we have Sean Marion, Bron, T-Mac, Gilbert, Bobby Jackson, we don't even need anybody else for real. We should be good to go. So I'm definitely going to give the Matrix that offer, and hopefully he'll still want to sign with us, even though we couldn't afford to sign him that first time. I'm also going to offer Elton Brand a deal as a backup, but we were able to land Marion, so we're good to go. And then I also have like my mid-level exception to work with. I used that to go out and bring in Earl Jenkins. We only have a 6-man rotation, but I'll just let the CPU fill out the rest of the lineup. We'll move Bron to the 4. We'll be good to go, man. I think this team's talented enough to get the job done regardless. And at the end of the season, the team most definitely proved that. LeBron James, Rookie of the Year, putting up ridiculous numbers for a rookie, but he's LeBron. What would you expect? What else would you expect? We won 70 games on the year, 70-12. T-Mac was All-NBA. The Matrix, Sean Marion, he was All-NBA as well. And of course, we were the number 1 seed. We won 70 games, but the Nets actually won 67, which is crazy. But we'll go ahead and check out the season stats. The team kind of was just filled out with the minimum players outside of our main guys, but they were just hooping, so it was okay. And we were able to win 70 games despite not having a deep rotation. Round number 1, we're going to go ahead and sweep the Boston Celtics. Round 2, we go ahead and gentlemen sweep the Washington Wizards. Then we sweep the New Jersey Nets. And in the conference finals, we have the Clippers. The Clippers, we're going to take game 1 against them. when, yeah, that's an easy sweep. Their team was just bad. Tracy McGrady is your finals MVP. And we're moving on to the last team of the video. We're here in the 2009-2010 season with prime Chris Paul on the New Orleans Pelicans. That's right. We're going to do a Chris Paul Pelicans rebuild. And I'm not even going to do anything to start off the season. I'm just going to simulate to the deadline because I've noticed in the last rebuilds I've done, it seems like you can get better trades at the deadline. And we were still pretty good, so it didn't really hurt anything to simulate some. And now I can try and make this roster even better to make a postseason championship push. First trade I did was for Monte Ellis and Steven Jackson. Marcus Thornton had ridiculous value in these trades, so I was able to get two really good players in that move. Then I was looking at trades for Emeka Okafor. I was getting some solid offers after including some picks. I saw Rudy Gay and AI, and I went ahead and did that trade. This is older AI, but he's still a 79 overall. Then I went out and I got Yao Ming, and I also traded for Carl Landry. This will help solidify our front court, 81 overall center in Yao, and a 78 overall power forward in Landry. Now let's get to the end of the season and see if those trades that I made were worth it. Marcus Thornton ends up winning Rookie of the Year, so I guess that's why he had so much value in that trade where I got Stephon Marbury and Monte Ellis. Chris Paul does end up making All-NBA. He's on the third team, so not too crazy. I actually expected him to do better because, I mean, he's a really high overall in this, and I think at this point in time, he was probably the best point guard in the entire league. Chris Paul ended up leading the team in scoring. He also averaged 10 assists per game, so he was getting the guys involved as well. David West was really good for us, and Rudy Gay was getting buckets. Round number 1, we're going to go ahead and beat the Suns. That series went to 7, which I expected our team to be able to exceed expectations as a 4 seed. I feel like we should be able to make a really good run, but the Lakers are definitely going to be a tough team to get past. They take game 1 and game 2. Not a great start to the series. Okay, we might be cooked. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and lose in 5 to the Lakers, so we've got some moves we got to make this off season, and I think my main priority is going to be getting some cap space. And I have like a little creative way to do that. I'm going to try to trade for the number 1 overall pick while also giving up a bunch of these guys on deals that I just don't want. And I got the number 1 pick, and this draft had Paul George, John Wall, and Boogie. And I decided to go out and get DeMarcus Cousins. He can run some 5 for us, and that'll create cap space for free agency. The trade where we trade away all those players, now we got cap space. So I'm going to go after Bron, of course. I mean, he's a 99 overall, one of the best players in the entire league, but he doesn't want to come to our team. He doesn't want to play with his buddy Chris Paul. I'm also going to offer Dirk a deal. Dirk's a little bit older, but we'll still throw him the no trade clause because he's really good. But the Blazers are going to beat us out. And I tried to make a trade with them to like take up their cap space, but they just have way too much cap space. So we couldn't do that. And then I went after Tim Duncan. He had 0 offers, so I was able to easily sign him. Nobody else offered Tim Duncan. You're talking about him Duncan, a contract. So of course I'm going to offer Tim Duncan a deal. We were able to sign him. And after signing Tim Duncan, we still had the potential to create a little bit more cap space. And I went ahead, I traded for Thad Young. He's a young player. He's on his rookie contract. So I was able to save some money by doing that. I also traded Mo Spates to go out and get a future first round pick. Mo Spates only 73, and we can clear up money to go out and get Rudy Gay, only 23 years old and 83 overall. I don't mind if I do. We'll go ahead and offer him a pretty big deal. He should want to come to our squad, and he does. We did end up losing out on AI, which kind of sucks, but he was a little older anyway, so I'm not too mad about it. And overall, I'm pretty happy with the moves we made. I mean, how could you be unhappy when you go out, you get the first pick, you also add a guy like Tim Duncan in free agency. And as my final move, I signed Jamal Tinsley. He's another one of those G League guys who kind of just sits in free agency, so I went ahead and added him. He's a 78 overall. The team looks pretty good going into this season. LeBron takes home another MVP and a DPOY. He's just him. Phil Jackson wins the Coach of the Year. We do end up having Chris Paul on the All-NBA team once again. He's alongside Tim Duncan there, both of them on the third team. We were the second seed. The Lakers were better than us, so it looks like we're going to have some comp with the Lakers once again. Tim Duncan led the team in scoring. Rudy Gay close behind. Chris Paul also was getting buckets. Monte Ellis was getting buckets. DeMarcus Cousins had a good rookie season for us. Round number 1, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we're going to go ahead and sweep them. Now we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're going to sweep them. And in the conference finals, of course, it's the Lakers. They end up picking up Rondo onto the roster. Oh, man, they still got Powell and Kobe. So this is definitely going to be a tough matchup. They take game 1. We take game 2. They take game 3. They take game 4. Man, the Lakers are about to cook us again. Yep, they beat us in 5 just like last year. We do get a Kobe versus Bron finals that goes 7, and the Lakers end up winning. Powell is the finals MVP. And this offseason, I've got a blueprint. I've got a plan for exactly what I want to do. And the first move that I'm going to make is going to be to go get Danny Granger. He's going to save us some money, and that'll allow me to go out and try and sign one more big free agent. I'm also going to trade Jordan Farmar. I get 2 future firsts. That'll clear up some more cap space. And we should be pretty good to go for free agency. Kevin Durant is available, but I'm still a couple million short, which that's a lot of money. But in the NBA world, we can clear up that money. So I'm going to look at trading Monte Ellis. He is really good for us, but I see Nick Batum, who's on a much cheaper deal. I'm going to trade for Batum. And then I got Jared Bayless in that move. I'm going to trade away Bayless. Probably get some more picks because this game is broken. Yep, there you go. There's 2 firsts for Jared Bayless. And then I'm going to go into free agency. Melo has no offers. Yeah, man, don't mind if I do. I'll go ahead and offer Melo. You can have the no trade clause. You can have everything. Welcome to the squad, Carmelo Anthony. Now we got Melo, Boogie, Chris Paul, and we have Tim Duncan. We're also going to add Anderson Varejao. The squad is absolutely stacked. I have no doubt that this should be our championship year. We even added Danny Granger in that trade. We got Batum. We got good role players. The team's just good, man. 64-18 on the season. We're like that. Kyrie ends up winning Rookie of the Year. DeMarcus Cousins most improved, even alongside all these stars. Boogie finds a way to get his. He was putting up some huge numbers for the squad, especially considering the players he was alongside of. Melo makes it all defense. We're the number 1 seed, just barely. The Clippers were right behind us. We might have to face the Lakers again, so hopefully we can get the best of them this time. Melo led the team in scoring. We had so many buckets on this team. And in round number 1, we're going to go ahead and sweep the Sacramento Kings. We're also going to gentleman sweep the Minnesota Timberwolves in round 2. In the conference finals, we're going to gentleman sweep the Lakers this time. And the final team we have to face is the Atlanta Hawks. This is the final championship. We got to win in this video, so hopefully we can take Atlanta down. It's a 2-2 series. I thought we'd be able to easily beat them, but we're going to a game 7. This is the final team we have to beat. Come on, lock in for me, team. We're up. Okay, it looks like we got a little lead. We're up. It looks like we're going to win. We win the championship. I appreciate y'all if you stayed all the way till the end of the video. If you made it to the end, comment 5 rings because that's how many we won in this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Have a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe.